Hello YouTube, it's me, chargebladeygo, and sorry for not uploading as of late. I wasn't able to due to IRL reasons, but here we are now, and today on What Deck Will This Fantasy Character Play, we are going to take a look at Crowd Strife from Final Fantasy VII. I've been playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is why I wanted to make this video, and if you want my recommendation, if it's worth the purchase, I will tell you, yeah, go ahead and purchase it if you want to, it's a great game. Do it! Do it! If you want to, that is. So, as a video game connoisseur, it is general knowledge that Cloud is one of the most famous video game swordsmen in all of video game history. Link, of course. Before we give Cloud a deck, let's go to death about him. So, Cloud is an ex-soldier who works for the Sinra Electric Company, which protects God because Sinra is basically the overlords of Midgard, so to say. Which has its own military because they have to protect Midgard and everything. And fighting wars. Cloud is now a freelancer monk who's helping an eco freedom fighter group called Avalanche to stop Shenmue from pumping Mako out of the planet to power up the city. Well, to stop Shenmue from using Mako entirely, because Mako is the blood source of the planet. And if the planet runs out of Mako, everything's gonna die. The planet will be dead. So with that being said, we're going to discuss how Cloud fights, because this is going to go into the deck that he's going to be using in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So Cloud obviously has a big sword that he swings around and also puts material on it and such to cast magic. Cloud is mostly an offensive power attacker, focusing mostly on melee combat or his output and damage. So if he were to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, he would probably want to choose a deck that he would be most comfortable with. And I think that deck would be Bluster Blader. Well, let's be real here. Cloud is notorious for his sword. All he uses are big blades, big buster swords and such. So it would make a lot more sense that he would choose a deck based off of the primary weapon, well, the primary type weapon that he uses, which are buster swords, basically. Also, I don't really see Cloud being an actual competitive meta player to say the most. I think he would be more of a casual player. So Buster Blader will also suit him in that degree as well. That being said, let's go jump on to Dev Pro because I kinda like using that mode to make decks with. For Cloud's deck profile. Here we go! Alright, so here we are with the deck. I went for a pure variation of Buster Bladers. So we're gonna have one Blader of the Destruction Subman. He's basically a vanilla in hand. We just want to use him for fusions and such. That's all you really want to do with him. Triple the original Buster Bladers. They're also vanilla, but we can actually use them a little bit more than Buster Blader Destruction Swordman with our Destruction Swords. So Whelp is going to help us add Destruction Swords from our deck to our hand. It's also going to help us to special summon our Buster Bladers as well from our hand. So that is useful. And Dragon Buster Destruction Sword is going to help us lock out our opponent from the extra deck. Basically, that's what it's going to do. And then Triple Dueling Lockbird, because even though I have a card that can kind of ruin this card a little bit in the deck, if we go second, we're gonna need to have some sort of way to stop our opponent from searching, because a lot of the meta decks right now search a whole lot more. So I feel Dueling Lockbird is pretty much needed. Instant Fusion, because we have an Instant Fusion target in the extra deck. Triple Perform Bell Pop-Up. Okay, so this card is going to cost you 3,000 life points. Why? Because we do not have the right monsters to special summon off from this card, because we don't have them in the main deck. And if we don't, and for each card that we draw, By using this card's effect, we take 1000 left points of damage. And basically send up to 3 cards from my hand to the graveyard and then we draw that many cards. Why do we want this? Because we are going to trigger off the Destruction Swords effect in the graveyard. That is why. They are very useful in the graveyard. I'll read to you the effects, of course, when we get there. But that's basically why. Next up is Foolish Burial Goods. Just to like send a Destructive Sword to the graveyard. That's basically why we have it. Foolish Burial. So we can use him as fusion material. And for other shenanigans. Monster Reborn to summon one of our Buster Bladers from the graveyard. Triple Power Duality because we won't be especially in summoning that much. Triple Card by the Grave to protect us from hand traps. And okay, we're gonna go to the Destruction spell cards. Well, trap cards. Why did I say spells? This is traps. This is trap heavy deck. Trap cards. Alright. So, Destruction Sword Flash. Basically, if we control a fusion monster that lists Buster Blade as material, which we do have, we get to banish all of our opponent's monsters that they control. That, well, obviously they have to be face up, but yeah, we get that just like banish them all. They don't get to activate the graveyard effects. Unless we're playing dinos and there's Giant Rex, but whoop-de-doo, Giant Rex back on the field. Oh well, not gonna matter, it's gonna die anyways. Also, we can banish it from the graveyard to protect our Buster Bladers. Okay, memories. So basically this is just a straight off fusion summoning card. For the archetype, it's in form of a trap. But what you gonna do? It was kind of weird to me that they made Buster Blade a trap-centric deck. Anyways, we're gonna go to the last one. Prolong the Destruction Swordsman. I don't know why I said that. Send one Destructive Sword card and a Buster Blader from your deck to the graveyard. Except this card. Special summon a Buster from the extra deck or graveyard. You have to destroy it during the end phase. You can banish this card, and cards you control cannot be destroyed by battle card effects this turn. And you can only activate one of these cards per turn. So there you go. So you're not really going to get any graveyard effects with Destruction Sword memories, but you will with the others. Okay, so Trap Trick is basically simple. To search out trap cards that we need and to DNA Surgery, so our Fusion Buster can get attack points off of the opponent, and so we can use the opponent's monsters. Well, basically, DNA Surgery is gonna help benefit us by making all of our opponent's monsters dragon. That's what I'm trying to get at here. So we got Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. Needs a Buster Blader and a Dragon type monster. And unfortunately, it can only be fusion summoned, so we cannot reburn it. Can't attack directly either, but gains a thousand attack effects. For each Dragon type monster your opponent controls in the graveyard, change all Dragon type monsters your opponent controls to defense position. Also, they cannot attack. They cannot activate their effects. That is why we have DNA Surgery, and this inflicts piercing damage as well. So, if we combo this off with him with DNA Surgery, all of our opponent's monsters go into defense position, and they can't use their effects, which is great. That's why we have 3 of them. Then we have Millennium Eyes Restrict. Self-explanatory, just to mess with our opponent's field. Bolo Savage Dragon. It's a level 8. We can go into it for spell trap card negation. And Triple Buster Dragon for when we can't go into a fusion. So all of our opponent's monsters' controls become dragon type. So if we don't have DNA surgery, we can resort to this. Once per turn, if I do not control a Buster Blade monster, I can just target one in the grave, special summon that for free. And once per turn during opponent's turn, I can equip a Buster Blade monster with a Destruction Sword monster from the graveyard. So, what does this mean? So let's say, I have a Buster Blader and I have Dragon Booster Destruction Sword and I synchro with it to Buster Dragon. During my opponent's turn, I can activate. Let's say if we have another Buster Blade on field as well. I can activate this card's effect. Target this, equip it to whatever Buster monster I have, and we just extra deck the opponent out of the game. So we're gonna go into the next one, which is Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. We have a low monster count. I don't think we're really gonna go into it. It's nice to have. You can make this Bow Soul Dragon if you really want to. Instead of Appaloosa, it's up to you. Unicorn, Nightmare Unicorn, and Phoenix. Crystal need Nebo 5 because we can special summon out any of Buster Webs or Dragon Buster Destruction Swords from the deck. Union Carrier to help get that Buster Dragon Destruction Sword lock in on the extra deck. Corruption Wealth of Destruction Swordsman to help such. And we have Samagate Almirage that we can actually use to help protect our Buster monsters. So that's it for the deck profile, and we are going to go back into the main video. So that's the deck profile. I hope all you enjoyed it. I hope all you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Make sure you select all so you know when I ever do something on YouTube, like upload a video, go live stream and such. And I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye bye.